Adam Christ here with the CES flyweight champion, Blaine Shuttdown Shutt. We're going to have a little conversation during quarantine time. It's catching up during quarantine with Blaine Shuttdown Shutt. First off, thank you for joining me. And second off, happy birthday, my friend. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. You know, just surviving from the hellish times we're going through.
Yeah, so that was going to be my first thing I wanted to talk to you about. What have you been up to during this quarantine? Other people are, still trying to get their workouts in. Some people are drowning in their sorrows. Some people are as happy as could be. What's life like for you right now?
It's super confusing. I mean, every day is a different adventure because, I'm fortunate enough to be a partial important employee where I'm still working at FedEx.
Mm-hmm.
But my hours are day by day.
Right.
So every day, I'm waiting for a phone call whether or not I can work or I'm not going to work. And if I do end up working, I'm only getting 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go good. And so that's kind of tough because with filing for the unemployment and stuff like that, it just kind of makes it a little confusing and everything.
Right.
Babe, I'll get you a cookie later. Oh my goodness! All right. So
she needs that cookie, man. I get it.
I gotta get a cookie. You guys want to take you through a MTV video cribs checking out.
There we go.
Yeah, so I'll give you the whole thing. Go.
So, like you said, with the quarantine thing and you kind of having to work and you're relying on your day-to-day schedule, is that a little worrisome for you, being out in the masses and kind of, worrying, being on defense at all times, trying to stay safe?
See, I don't really know if I'm buying into this whole thing. I'm not trying to get all skeptical and whatnot, but it's hard to believe, let's say aliens. It's kind of hard to believe that aliens exist, but it's also kind of hard to believe that aliens don't exist. I've never seen them.
Right.
But there's so much space and all this other stuff that's out there. It's kind of almost kind of have to believe there's something else out there.
Yeah.
So with the situation, and I had said in an interview before, is that it's really weird to be able to walk outside and nothing is wrong. I'm not physically seeing anything.
The weather's beautiful, and you would think everybody's outside and nothing.
Yeah, it's super nice, but apparently for some reason social media is sitting there telling me that I need to stay inside, and there's people who are dying and stuff, and it's just not good. So I'm trying to abide by what is going on, but there's so much stuff on social media that I don't even know what the true feed that I need to listen to or what is actually really going on because everybody's contradiction. There's so many fake news things, then they'll put Fox next to it. You're oh, I know what Fox is, but you didn't really look at the fine print where it was Fox 69,
Right.
So I'm just kind of trying to do my own thing. And I'm not really doing anything too different besides the fact that obviously I'm not really training. So I can't go anywhere publicly that I'm used to going to. I can't take my daughter to the park or can't go to Chocolate World or something. I can't go train at my gyms. Everywhere's closed. Nobody's open up. So it's really become just a punishment game at the moment.
I was going to say, since you've had a little bit of time, because your career has had its ups and downs. I've seen it, for years now, and I've seen you thrive. I've seen you take your losses. I've seen your bumps and bruises. I've seen your victories and your highest points. And now you being the CES champion, and everything seems to be coming together now. You're at AKA, training everything. Have you had some time during this quarantine to maybe reflect on the past and kind of take it all in for the future?
And I got asked that a couple times from a bunch of different places, and I've ultimately ended up saying the same thing. But realistically, ever since I was could fathom what sadness was, I feel like I've grown up with depression. So I've been depressed and sad about pretty much everything since I can recall. I've been diagnosed by doctors and whatnot, where they're oh, I have chronic depression and everything, where I could get some medical help. But I'm such a mental person where I feel if I do that, I'll feel like I've lost in a way. So I refuse to take any type of pill. I really I'll talk to people and stuff like that. But like realistically, I'm almost like a yes person. Like I've already made up my mind about what I want to do. So if I'm asking somebody a question, pretty much I just want them to agree with me. I will take into consideration. I really do. I will really take into consideration what people will say, and I'll mathematically crunch the stuff and Rain Man it in my head. But then I'm ultimately going to do what I really want to do. So I mean, every day, like I said, I deal with depression and everything. It's really hard, even just getting out of bed every morning. Luckily, I'm winning the war. I'm winning the war. I'm still here. I'm still kicking every day. Obviously, life has its ups and downs, as it does for everyone. Ultimately, maybe I just try myself to sleep a little more than the average person, but I'm still here. I'm alive. I'm living for my daughter and trying to create the best life for her. Now coming into the whole fighting situation, I had compared it to like a dream come true, because my whole life, collaborating with like my whole wrestling career, every other sport I've done, anything I've ever put my heart to, I've dreamt of being able to completely put out there what I'm capable of doing. See, and what I think to why I'm personally a special fighter compared to a lot of other guys is that I don't have a cap. So I am constantly evolving my game and becoming a better version of me. If you legitimately wanted to like take the time and you go by fight from my amateur career all the way up till this day, you would see a tremendous stride and difference in each fight. And the crazier part about it is like you almost can't scout me because I'm so different. I'm vastly different in every fight. You may like be able to sit and be like, oh, well, he's wrestled majority of it. You're right. I am wrestling people, but I'm also subbing people, and I'm also subbing people each time in a different way.
In an impressive way, too. Like you were saying in the last fight, transitioning from the banana split to the twister, like you were talking about. Not your average jiu-jitsu practitioner. You're going to see that in an MMA fight. Am I wrong?
No, not at all. And the funny part about it is that like my coach is a little mad at me about, he wanted me to kind of stay on my feet a little more and throw the hands, which ultimately I think I achieved that goal because I definitely threw more hands than I've ever thrown before. But again, that comes with like the evolution of my skill set and stuff, and trying to pull the trigger, because like especially for any wrestler, a hard mental block is being able to stand there. Because as soon as we get hit, it's like, all right, well that plan's out the window, and all the other plans B through Z, or it's time to wrestle. And I feel like I've developed enough now too, where it's like I'm comfortable on my feet anymore. And it was just a really elongated time. But unfortunately, I had to go through the events that I had to go through, transitioning between gyms and finding the right spot to finally be able to take the skill set that I have and be able to finally blossom it to what I've shown at CES. Now, the best part about all that is that, as I said, I'm like constantly evolving and getting better. Is that like that still wasn't the best me? I finally pulled the trigger and showed what I can do. Like finally gave people a taste and whatnot, but it still wasn't me 100%. So like a lot of people actually don't know is that the first round of that fight, when I hit him with that throw, I dislocated my shoulder.
Oh.
So if you look back and you watch it, oh, my daughter just did a front flip. Come here, silly. That was actually impressive. I'm pretty proud of you about that. Oh, come here. So, oh, silly. So yeah, I actually. You want me to kiss it? Where do you want to kiss it? Oh, it's okay. Babe, that was super impressive. That was really cool what she just did. So yeah, I actually dislocated my shoulder. So it's like you look back at the fight, you notice that I kept draping my left arm because I was trying to get it back in the socket, robbing me, and I couldn't bring it up. I was in so much pain. But ultimately, I did it. Like I'm showing, I'm just all around. I can do it all. I'm not one dimensional. I can do anything. I can stand and bang. I can throw kicks. I could wrestle you. I can jiu-jitsu you. I can do it all. I can dictate where it goes. I'm not afraid of anybody taking me down. I've had a couple of fights. I had one fight, and I don't want to mention his name or anything like that because I'm not trying to call him out. I'm not trying to give him kudos. Where I had been taken down multiple times, but again, I mean, that was really it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not worried about getting taken because I'll get right back up to my feet again, and I'm back to throwing hands or coming at you. So I think I'm an exciting fighter,
mm-hmm.
and my game is constantly evolving, and it's finally starting to come all together. It's not quite there yet,
mm-hmm.
but you've seen it. You see it, and it got you that excitement, especially coming from somebody that probably watched me and most of my fights, and they're like, holy shit, that was awesome. And
it's definitely a different fighter. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just saying it's definitely a different fighter than when I got to see you the first time and now getting to see you on UFC Fight Pass and everything. And even from your last fight before that, the Santella fight, I mean, it was a great fight. Santella is a phenomenal name. Obviously, why he isn't in the UFC, everybody's questioning why. But even then, you hung with him. You hung with some of the best, and you showed some of your capabilities and just some of your strong points in going into it. Do you think that the culmination of all this coming together has been your training with AKA?
To an extent. I mean, a lot of those guys definitely helped me kind of like test my skill set to where I'm at. Not saying that like anybody out here is not good.
Mm-hmm.
But like just out there is a top tier gym. We're not the top tier gym here. We might be regionally out here,
mm-hmm.
but not worldly, and that's a worldly top tier gym. So out there, I was able to finally really gauge my levels and figure out how I'm pushing, where I need to push, where I'm slacking, where I need to work harder. Taking other people's styles and training methods and adding it to mine. So I mean, I'm a full believer in cross training, especially when it comes to meeting other people from around the world, around the country. It's just a huge deal. Like it's really hard to become an elite wrestler in itself, even in the wrestling game, in a small town.
Yeah.
You have to go to a club. You have to go to big tournaments. It's the same thing with fighting. If you stick into one small town gym, you're going to cap yourself out and you're going to plateau. So that's why cross training is really important in my personal opinion.
I definitely can agree with that. I can see where you're coming from with that. But I am curious, now that you've gotten in the room with AKA, you've gotten in there with some of the best of them, right? Who has been maybe one person that has maybe given you that little extra attention, somebody that you've actually made that little connection and clicked with that's giving you that extra step? Go ahead and name drop.
It's tough to say because like there's so many people that I go with. Andre, the first time I was out there, Andre Hura, me and him partnered up the first time we were out there. Me, him, Matt Schmel, and a bunch of the other guys whose names are eluding me right now. We kind of like kept together. This time around, like I said, it was really, really isolated this time. Like there was literally like me, Habib, Islam, Omar, Tagir, 3 other guys from his entourage, Kyle Kretschmer, and Duran Wynn. And I mean, that was really it. So this time it was a lot smaller. So me and Kyle did a couple one-on-ones. So this past camp that I was at there, unfortunately, I didn't get to fight last Friday. I actually put in a good bit of time with Kyle one-on-one, and me and him went down to Ant Dogs and trained there. Did a couple sparring rounds and stuff like that, and like mentally had a couple chit chats about like how it is in the fight game, whatnot, and then we went out. Took our host out, played tag in Walmart and stuff like that, and we got him cookies and brought him back, and he ended up having to leave to have his firstborn, which he just had. So yeah, he just had a little kiddo too. He's back in Texas right now. I'll get you Papa.
So, what is going to be next when all of this is over? I mean, I'm sure you're getting asked this every different which way because obviously everybody wants to see the champ defend his belt. So when all of this is said and done, has there been any idea of any opponents thrown out for you? Anybody that you might want to face potentially? Any rematches? I remember you brought up a character earlier in the story, but you didn't name somebody. I think I have an idea. But anyway, what's your future plans?
I definitely think the match with me and Richie Santiago is going to get rescheduled.
Yeah.
And I think that fight is either going to get me a contender series fight or it's going to get me the call. But like I said, if it doesn't, my thought process after that, if I don't get a contender series fight or something like that, I want to challenge for the 135-pound belt and become champ.
And you just literally stole the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna question that because you do have the frame where you fought multiple times in multiple different weight classes. I get that, but with you just now capturing your first bright, sunshiny, championship belt, why not focus on that, clearing out the division instead of focusing on double champ?
I mean, I'm still relatively new to CES promotion, so I'm not exactly sure who's all at their 125-pound roster and whatnot out there in Massachusetts. Trust me, I'm sure that I may not even get the opportunity to go up to 35, so I'm sure Pat has a chainsaw to throw at me. Because I'm pretty sure I was brought out there to lose that fight. Let's get real. But I mean, obviously, I'm finally opening up and being that dangerous fighter that everybody's afraid of me. So, I mean, it's mine. I mean, in the words of Conor McGregor, which I hate to quote him because I'm not trying to piss Habib or DC or any of them off, he's going to need a fucking army to take that belt from me because I'm not losing it. So, I mean, the best way to challenge myself is to go up to 35. And the reason I thought of that is because I don't really truly believe that the UFC wants to hold on to the 25-pound division. Mm-hmm. So at least if I'm able to show that I can hold myself at 35 as well as win at, be the champ at 25 as well, the UFC can look at me as an option where I could either A, get bumped in there at 25, or A, I could take a catch fight, or I could fight at 35.
Right.
And I think becoming champ's just pretty cool.
Yeah, obviously. Having 2 belts is always better than 1, more belts of anything. But so this is going to be the last I touch on this, just because it's a sensitive subject. I get it. But so now with being the CES champion, right, you've had multiple names under your belt. You fought the best of the best in your weight classes. Now you're on UFC Fight Pass. All the eyes are on you. You're the champ. Would you – and I'm just adding on to it with AKA. Do you think you have all the tools needed to get over that hump of your own mental struggles to proceed to the next level of where you need to be?
Truthfully, I mean, I do. I mean, something's up with my new camp, my new coaches, and the team behind me. I'm the most confident I've ever been.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's really good to hear.
My striking coach, Manny Rose, my manager, and also coach down at Tech MMA down in Virginia, Perry Gibson. I mean, they've really developed my stand-up into I'm a monster, dude. I'll sit back and I'll watch the tape of myself, and I don't even recognize myself anymore. I mean, I do strictly remember. I mean, I used to be, I got hit. I need to dive and grab a leg. And now I'm sitting there. I'll get hit with a nice good shot, and I'll smile and grin right back at that person. You best believe I'm hitting him twice as hard as that person just hit me. I mean, my love for the sport has straight up been renewed. I mean, for the longest while, I was going through a really bad custody battle with my daughter that I don't know if I've ever touched that with anybody. I had originally moved down to Virginia to train at Tech MMA with Tony a couple of years back, and then I found out that my daughter was on her way. So I had decided to pack up again and move all the way back up to Pennsylvania to step up and be a dad.
Right.
And I literally had to start from scratch. I had to live in my friend's basement for a while. And then meanwhile I'm doing that, I'm dealing with a baby mama who doesn't want me involved in my daughter's life, trying to fight me tooth and nail to push me out when I'm fighting to be in.
Right.
I mean, at one point in time, she literally tricked me of signing my name off the birth certificate because she lied to me and said that I needed to sign this piece of paper to sign my name on the birth certificate because the hospital messed up. So, but realistically, what I signed was my name off of it.
Is that legal?
It's on there now. I don't know. See, this is the thing. She is I'm not trying to talk trash on her or whatever the heck. I mean, I'm not a big fan of her. But she's very book smart and manipulative of finding things out. And you throw a book at me, I don't know what it is.
Right.
But you put me on the street, you best believe I can make $1 out of a quarter. So, I'm okay, sure. I'm not thinking in my mind that this person's concocting some big thing here to try to screw me over. But ultimately she did. So, I mean, I was going through like a really bad time throughout a year. And, that was like the whole downfall of like where I like disappeared for a bit. Wasn't really training. Like, again, I was living in my friend's basement, and then I ended up moving into my sister's attic. And then finally I was able to like get my place that I have now and everything. And it was just a really bad struggle. I like contemplated that I needed to quit because like I had lawyer bills out the ass. It was just, I was just run down. I was a really bad, mean person. I didn't care about anybody. Like part of it was my downfall of leaving Gracie too, because a friend of mine that we had dated for a while throughout this, I straight up like treated really bad, and all that person tried to do was just help me out and take care of me, and I just wasn't myself, and I was mean to her, and I hated everybody at Gracie, and pretty much it just blew up in my face, and ultimately everything got better. It just took me leaving the gym, bunkering down, finally getting everything in order with the custody and all this other stuff like that. Then things just started to like turn around. I started to focus on myself and my daughter. I got the opportunity to go out to AKA, and that's when I flew out. Was training out there, and I got that fight Santella, and this is a fight that my manager had said to me that like, listen, you don't need any tune-up fights. It's been a while since I fought and won that AOW belt, and he's like, you don't need a tune-up fight. Your skill's there. You just really got to pull that trigger. You got to trust yourself. You went through all this other stuff. You mentally just got to put it out there, and you got to do it. You have the skill. Stop doubting yourself. So I fought Santella. It was a stepping stone. It definitely, I was a little pissed off about getting backpacked a bit. I would love to fight him again, absolutely. I definitely think it would go another way. He does owe me 2 more rounds. He'll disagree with you and think things would go otherwise, but I evolve as the game goes. And then after that fight, it really hit me because like I was like, why didn't I do these things earlier? Like I had a great camp. I got at AK, made all these connections, but I wasn't enjoying any of this anymore. Like I was just tired and drunk out from this whole situation. And I felt like everything was just too late.
Right.
I was burnt out, and I just didn't want to do the fight anymore. I thought to myself, I need to just go full time at my job and keep working just to feed my daughter and everything like that, and give up on my dreams. But again, my coaches, and I left Gracie, working at Mandy Rose's full time, went back out to AKA and stuff, and got my next fight at CES, where I ended up fighting Lopez, and it just finally, I don't know how. I mean, I did a lot of things the same. It was just the people around me were just different people, and it all finally clicked, and it was like the best feeling in the world, where it's like, even if I would have lost that fight, I mean, I know I had said that I probably would have retired just because, like, I feel like it, like, again, the whole little too late situation, but I won that fight. So that scenario is like non-void. Right. It's just like, I beat myself, I feel, is more I don't want to belittle the belt, but beating myself was more of an achievement to me than winning that belt. The belt was what made me fall back in love and having enjoy it. I was more happy with myself of putting in that final go almost. And then winning the belt was like, all right, let's keep doing this. The love's back. I'm enjoying training again. I mean, all my friends out there at AKA, I mean, real recognizes real. And those guys out there, I mean, if you're hearing like, damn, you're good, from the best in the world, the UFC champs and shit like that, then apparently there's something there that like I can't. Like I've seen so much wasted talent that like I refuse to be one of them. Not saying I'm godly, but hard work beats talent every day, and I believe I'm harder than anybody.
Right. What's your relationship with Gracie these days? Have you mended the past that you claimed that went astray?
I mean, I kind of just, I just left. I didn't really say goodbye. I mean, I could tell me being there with other people being there that like things just weren't right, and other people were mad and disappointed at me for things that they saw me be doing and acting. And I mean, they're right, you know. I don't want to say I didn't deserve to be there, but like I wasn't acting right and I wasn't being a good person. So yeah, I just left, you know. I still talk to a couple of the guys, you know. I know that he's retired, so me and him will occasionally hit each other up. John Brennan just started his new t-shirt company, MMA T Incorporated. I'm sponsored me, so me and him hit it back off again, so you can go pick up material there. Christian obviously still bugs and picks on me almost every day. Stuff, and he's gonna beat me up and sends me little clips of him piecing me up and stuff. I miss the family atmosphere that used to be there. But I don't think it's the same anymore. Like, I'm not talking down the gym, but it's not an MMA gym anymore. I feel like half the fighters aren't there anymore. Everybody's done. It's fallen back into what Damien loves to do, and it's his jiu-jitsu school, and it's easily, I would definitely still say, probably the best jiu-jitsu school in Pennsylvania. I mean, Balance affiliated out there with some Maurice brothers and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. I would totally love to like step back in there again. It's a confusing thing, and it's again all came down to my fault and stuff. So,
but at least you're man enough to admit it. And if anybody from the Gracie affiliate gyms and they see this, they'll see that your heart's in the right place. And I truly believe patience is a virtue. You've been patient with where you needed to go, what you needed to get done, and now the fruits of your labor have started to really, really show out. And I'm truly happy for you, first and foremost. But I want to ask, from your perspective, like when you said everything clicked. So I just want to put a couple things into perspective here and get your take on it. So inaugural CES flyweight champion, like I said, UFC Fight Pass. You know, your daughter, you know, the you fought for, the apple of your eye. She's right there. You know, I hear her in the background. What does that mean for you as a man that you've tried and you've put all these hours and all these fights into, and now it's finally going your way? How does that feel?
It's unbelievable, man. Like, I'm not gonna say dream comes true again. I've already seen it, but I love it, you know. And I'm gonna keep chasing it and keep going down it and just keep trying to build up and get even more. I'm gonna get a tad greedy with it because it's just so great. It's so great. It's on days, but it's also what's the word I'm looking for? Where it was just a matter of time. It was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I just hope that I allowed it to happen and didn't stop prematurely.
So
I truly believe I have the ability to be the champ.
So when do we see Blaine Shutt in the UFC? Plain and simple.
That's up to Dana and Sean Shelby and all them guys. Whenever they can sit there and be like, yeah, I know they got my name. Because that whole London back into the U.S. thing, I almost got a last-second call thanks to BC and my manager. So I think they definitely have to have my name. So I think if I put in a nice showing against Santiago, which I'm definitely looking like, I'm not looking to like just get by to win the fight and showcase some stuff. I'm really going out there to like really put him out. I'm not going to be conservative like I was in this past fight, let alone, I mean, I was fighting with a shoulder dislocated most of that time.
True.
But, I mean, I'm really going to go out there and go for that quick first round finish and get out of there and showcase something really cool.
Well, I look forward to it, man, and we're gonna shut it down there. But Blaine, I appreciate you taking the time during this quarantine to catch up with me. Shout out to John Brennan and MMATCO.com. That's where you can get your Blaine Shuttdown Shutt gear. And also, Blaine, please, yes,
go ahead.
All your sponsors, all of your social media. Tell us who supports you. Tell us where friends can support you. Social media, everything. What's it at?
Well, all my sponsors. So first off, I got shout out to my team, Tech MMA, AKA and Cali, DC, all the guys, Javier. Thank you guys so much for the support and what you guys are allowing me to do and chasing my dream and evolving my game as far as it has. And everybody else, all my sponsors and whatnot that I'm probably going to blank off the top of my head, but obviously, John Brennan, you already got your shout out. Yeah, forgot them all, but you guys know who you are. I'm so sorry. But guys, CBD oils right here. I like to use Conquer. Boom. There's that spotlight right there. It's pretty good. But yeah, thank you for the time. And I appreciate it. I hope I didn't ramble on too damn much.
Nah, man, you're good, man. Like I said, congratulations on everything. I look forward to seeing you defend that belt, and I look forward to see what's next for the Shuttdown Blaine Shutt, man. Thanks a lot for your time. I definitely appreciate it.
All right, man. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Thank you.